Good morning. I am going to be answering questions today from the Online Math 155 as well as the Online Math 110. We'll start with the 155 and hopefully we can get through a couple of questions. These questions were sent, I think Tuesday. That would be probably the second day of class. Classes started Monday. So if you can see on the screen, they were sent to me and they went automatically into my Math 155 folder. That's why I try to push students into using the Ask My Instructor feature on MyLabs Plus. So anyway, I hope that you were able to find the videos on YouTube. I think I put in a email or a handout how to get to the YouTube channel and go over the first and second day, and it looks like some of you have, because the online, the MyLabs Plus is filling up, as well as the attendance quiz for the first week. Make sure you get that attendance quiz done before the deadline. Okay, the first question we have is 5.1. Let me make this a little bit larger so you can see which question it is. 5.1, number 45 in the book, and number 13 online. Okay, so let me pull that up and we'll get to work on it. So there's the question, 15 and 21. If you watch the videos, the way that I teach the least common multiple and the greatest common divisor is I put it in a grid form. And if you watch the videos, I use the first several prime numbers, which are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. So I form my grid. And I put my two numbers there. My two numbers are 15 and 21. And you want to ask yourself, what is the first number that comes to mind that will go into both 15 and 21? And you should say 3. Okay? So 3 will go into 15 5 times, and 3 will go into 21 7 times. Now at this point, you have the greatest common divisor. Now, if you watch the videos, you see the definition of the greatest common divisor. The definition of the greatest common divisor is the largest number that will divide into 15 and 21. That's why it's called divisor, the greatest common divisor. The largest number that will go into 15 and 21, and that is 3. So you take your handy dandy highlighter, and you highlight the 3 because that is your greatest common divisor. Now we're going to use a little bit of what I call magic math. When you watch the videos, you'll hear me refer to it as magic math, meaning that if I can't divide something, I just bring it down. Okay? So I'm going to draw a line here, and I'm going to draw a different color line so we'll know that the real math has stopped. And in the videos, you'll see me write real math stops, because these two numbers, nothing will go into 5 and 7. Nothing. Whether it's 5 will go into 5, but 5 won't go into 7. 7 will go into 7, but 7 won't go into 5. So when you get to the point that you have two numbers that nothing will go into, then you have where the real math stops, and you have your greatest common divisor. Now then, pick a number. Well, 2 won't go into either one, 3 won't go into either one, 5. Okay, so I'm going to put a blue 5 here, and 5 will go into 5 one time. 5 will not go into 7, so you just bring the 7 down. That's the magic math. And then you put another line, and then okay, 1. Your goal is to get 2 1s down here. That's your goal. So I don't have to do anything with the 5, I meant the 1 because it's already a 1. So 7. How do I get 7 to turn into a 1? Well, I divide by 7. 7 will not go into 1, so you just bring that down. And 7 will go into 7 one time. So we got our 1s right here. We're done. Now you have your least common multiple. Your least common multiple is, well, you can multiply it however you want to. I'd multiply 5 times 7 because that's 35. And 35 looks like 105. I don't know what 35 times 3 is, but let's check it. 35 times 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Bring you 1. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 105. So 105 is your least common multiple. And if you watch the videos, you'll see where I cover the least common multiple. The least common multiple is the smallest number that 15 and 21 will divide what? Into. And this is used, this number right here is used when you find the common denominator. In the next section, okay? So if you want to get good at getting the common denominators, then get good at getting the least common multiple. And you shouldn't have a problem with finding the common denominator when you have the least common multiple down pat. Okay? So I hope that helps with that. Again, you can watch my videos and I go through that in the first couple of sections. All right? So we're going to move on to the next question set to us. And let me get out of this. The next question is 5.3. Let me get the erase. There we go. 5.3, number 75 in the book, number 22 online. 75 in the book, number 22 online. And it says, let me get this thing out of here. There we go. It says 1 over 30 minus 5 over 40 minus 11 over 50. Well, the first thing you got to have is a common denominator, so you got to find your least common multiple. So I go to my handy dandy least common multiple grid, and I put those 3 numbers, 30, 40, and 50. Only numbers I can use, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. Now, the first number I think of that'll go into all 5 of, or all 3 of them is 5. So I put down 5. You can do 2, you can do 3, but it's got to go into all 3 of them. 3 won't go into all 3 of them, but 2 will. You can use 2 if you want to. Doesn't matter. 5 will go into 30 how many times? 6 times. 5 will go into 40, 8 times. 5 will go into 50, 10 times. What number will go into all 3? Well, they're all even, so 2. Let's try 2. Excuse me. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Real math stops. But Hubert, how do you know that? Well, because no number will go into 3, 4, and 5. 3 and 5 are prime. So 3 will go into 3, but 3 won't go into 4, and 3 won't go into 5. 4 will go into 4, but 4 won't go into 3, and 4 won't go into 5. 5 will go into 4, but 5 won't go into 4 and into 3. So you got to a point where all you have are numbers that nothing will go into except that number. So at that point in the previous section, that's your greatest common divisor. So, and that we're not asking for it here. So we keep going with the magic math. So I want 1s all the way across the bottom is what I want. I want 1s all the way across the bottom. So I divide by 3, and that's going to give me a 1. That comes down, and that comes down. And I'm going to divide by 5. You don't have to divide, you can divide by 2 because you can only use these numbers. So 5, that comes down, 1, that comes down, 4, that comes down as a 1. So we got 2 1s, now we just got to get the last one. So I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to erase right there. And I might just move this up a little bit. Oops. Now I'll move that up here. This right there. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to divide by 2. And that comes down as 1. That comes down as 2. That comes down as 1. I'm going to divide by 2 again. That comes down 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1 and 1. We've got our 3 1s. So this is your least common multiple, which is your common denominator. Now how do you divide that? Well, pick out your 10s because everybody in here can multiply by 10. 10 times 10 is 100. So here's 10 and there's 10. Okay, what's 10 times 10? That's 100. And what's 3 times, let's see, 3 times 2? 6. And what's 6 times 100? 600. So 600 is our common denominator. Okay? 600 is our common denominator. Now I'm going to show you why this is a good trick to use. Oops, sorry. I suck. Here we go. There we go. And I'm going to make this one thing group. And we're going to move this over here a little bit. Okay? So, I go down here and I put 600. I'm going to rewrite the question. 1 over 30 minus 5 over 40 minus 11 over 50. And the common denominator is 600. So I put a 600 here, 600 here, and a 600 here. And now I convert. How many times will 30 go into 600? Well, you go over here and you find 30 over here. Well, 10 times 3 is 30. So just cover that up and you're left with 10 times 2, which is what? 10 times 2 is 20. So 20 times 1 is 20. How many times will 40 go into 600? We'll go over here and find 40. You knew that. We know that 2 times 10 is 20 right here. 2 times 10 is 20. Or 2 times 10 is 20, yeah. So 20 times 2 is 40. And that leaves 15. So 15 times 5, 40 will go into 600 15 times. Okay? Make sure I get that right. Hold on. 40. Make sure. 2 times 10 is 20. 20 times 2 is 40, so that's 15. So it'll be 15 times. Okay? 15 times 5 is 75, I believe. Somebody check me on that. And then go back over here and say, how many times will 50? Well, where's 50? Well, 50 is 5 times 10. So that will leave 3 times 4 is 12. So you got 50 will go into 600 12 times. And 12 times 11, well, 12 times 10 will be 120. Plus 12 is 132, I think. I have no idea. We'll check it. So 11 times 12. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. It's a miracle. 132. So now all you do is add or subtract. So 20 minus 75 is negative 55 minus 132 over 600. Well, if you owe somebody $55 and you owe somebody $132, you owe them $187. So your answer is negative 187 over 600. That should be your answer. Let's see what happens when we type it in. See if we get it right. Negative 187 divided by 600. It's a miracle. We got it right. Excelente. So, watch my videos. The main thing about fractions, adding and subtracting fractions, if you don't learn how to find the least common multiple, it's going to be really hard to find the common denominator. So if you can't find the common denominator, you need to go back and watch my videos on the least common multiple. Okay? And keep sending those questions, and we'll keep on doing those questions. Now I got to get out of here. Okay. Click on that. Click on that. Click on that. And goodbye.